Gameplay recording paused. Okay, wait up. Really? Can you see any gameplay? I think you can. That would be really weird if you cannot stream this. By the way, I didn't know that you could stream without PlayStation Plus. I don't have PlayStation Plus anymore. So I got this game Friday. This is pretty much my birthday gift from my friends. And why I got it Friday is because they bought me originally Mario Odyssey, but I already got the game, of course. So they were like, oh my god, shit, what do I do now? So I'm like, don't worry, you know, I'll just sell or return Mario Odyssey and I will get a game for myself. And I saw this game. And it was only 34 bucks. So I was waiting for a price cut, and I got it. And Friday I played a little bit, but I was really tired. So somehow I was like, nah, I don't like the game that much. It's kind of lame. And Saturday I played it again. It was Saturday night, waiting for PlayStation Experience. There was a fucking letdown. Besides Medieval, that was fucking cool. And I was like, holy shit, this game is so much fun to play. And I pretty much beat the entire game in one night. And now I just keep playing all the other modes and just keep playing for the cards. So they're like collectible cards. They're about 1,000. About 1,000, not entirely sure. And somehow it's really addicting to try and get all the cards. It's really weird. Hey, what's up, Ace Brand? Dude, you talk a lot. Holy shit. And you expect too much, even though I have to admit, I was not expecting Sony to make such a lame PlayStation experience. Like really. Like the only parts that were fun were Medieval announcement. I mean, that was pretty cool. I love Medieval. I grew up with, you know, one of these games I played on PS1. So Medieval is awesome. But really nothing else? And Kojima. I mean, Kojima was cool. Whole story from Kojima with Andy. That was really, you know, really cool to see. By the way, can you see gameplay? Because it's, yeah, it says that it's not gameplay. It's really weird, but it says on air. Nah, 2017 has not been bad at all. Hell no. People really forget, including you, that they have announced more games than Nintendo and Microsoft combined. They have announced Shadow of the Colossus, now Medieval, Ghost of Tsushima. They have announced and released a lot of games. So this is kind of weird. These are like weapon cards, but they're only a couple of weapons. So it's pretty much that if you get this card, a green card means nothing. Like, you don't need to look at it. It's not a card. It's nothing. But no, like, I've really been thinking about this really good. Like, you know, why they have... Yeah, that is something that I thought too. But hear me out. This is why I think it's obvious they don't have anything to show. If you look at all the games they have announced this year, and all the games that are in development, all their teams are working on games. I mean, what do you expect? There's nothing else. Every team has released or is working on their game. The only developing team that we don't know anything about is Japan Studios. And they have, of course, released Gravity Rush in the beginning of the year. Guerrilla Games has released Horizon this year. So all of their developing teams are working on games. Japan Studio also released NEC and Everybody's Golf. So it's kind of obvious that they don't have anything to show, number one. Number two is this. What if the rumors are true and Japan Studios is working on a really big budget title? Hear me out. And they announce it and they show it. And people get excited for it. That is going to take away potential advertisement and excitement for the upcoming big budget games of the beginning of this year, like God of War and Shadow of the Colossus. So it is obvious, it's normal that they're not going to show any big budget game up until the games they're already working on has been released. And I think something else is really important. If they announce everything this year, what do they have for next year? Because again, they are working, every developing team from Sony is already working on games. What do you expect them to make next year? What can they make in a couple of months? So it is kind of like, I understand your disappointment, and I was really disappointed. Heck, even if they would show like, I was really expecting like Dragon Quest XI announcement, Final Fantasy VII remake, new gameplay, some Japanese games that are coming to the PlayStation, and just nothing, like only talking, boring ass talking. I honestly fell asleep. This is the first time ever I fell asleep at a conference. It was really, really boring. Of course, it is obvious. I mean, if you look at it in this way, why hasn't Nintendo announced anything? I mean, Microsoft announced nothing this year. Nintendo has announced nothing because they already had Mario Odyssey and Zelda. So that is where their focus lies. And now when these games came out, all of a sudden we hear about, you know, Bayonetta 1 and 2 and Bayonetta 3 coming up, and we know that like there's a Yoshi game, a Kirby game, there's Metroid Prime, but they do not take the front because that will take away, you know, attention from the games that are coming up. So I understand why Sony has nothing to show. All their teams are working on games, and they have big upcoming games that they need to put their attention on. Hey. I, by the way, fell asleep with the gameplay of Detroit. Not that it was boring, it was just I fell asleep. You know, I was lying on my couch, I was checking out the Detroit gameplay, and all of a sudden I woke up and they were with Kojima. I'm like, okay. I already beat all these levels, but it's just now grinding to get all the cards and... Miyabi. Miyabi reminds me of Christy of Dead or Alive, and you know how much I love Christy. I don't know. They think nothing.
Let's crash! Go! Yo! 3, 2, 1. Here we go!
本当にラップやるつもり？わしがラップをやるのはそんなに変か？即答やな。
そもそもなんだけど、
I don't know.
日陰ちゃんはラップって何？
But if you combine all the games they have announced, all the upcoming games that are coming out, it is a gigantic amount. I don't think Sony has ever made so many exclusives, and they're just beginning. Perhaps. Of course, everyone receives them. But this year's PlayStation experience, I was not expecting this. Maybe. I mean, if you look at, I mean, they sold about 71 million systems. And people still think next year they're gonna announce the PlayStation 5. No. Hell no. I'm really excited for Ghost of Tsushima though. I really want to know what it is. I mean, next year is going to be insane. I keep saying that, but I mean, by the way, there already has been announcement for a new Senran Kagura. It's a Senran 7. And you get the 3DS games on PlayStation. That's pretty cool. And Soul Calibur 6! Holy shit! That is so cool! Soul Calibur! And Medieval, perhaps. And of course, a new game announcement. So you actually, if you get a duplicate of cards, you can actually use them to level up. That's pretty cool. You can level up weapons, level up cars. This is all the high level cards.
決断の時だ。行くぞ。
Oh yeah, the teaser from Software looked really cool.
さあ、始めようか。
5、4、3、2、1、Here we go!
未来はどんな芸を披露する気だ。
Oh,
それ
yeah.
はまだ秘密だよ。
私のカニ&スラ回しよりも面
I
白
was
いね。
really not expecting to like this game so much.
あ、そっか。
Like, this is really a cool game. I am actually liking this more than Senran Kagura XL
面
versus.
白いネタなんだな。
Probably because that felt really more of the same.
悔しいが、私は嬉しい。
やめてよ。ハードル上げるのは。
ついにこの時が来た。カメラ、覚悟しろ。だから誰なんだお前は。お前本当に私を忘れたというのか。小学校の同級生か。違う。遠い親戚。違う。わかった。バイト先の店長だ。そんなわけあるか。じゃあ誰なんだ。私をコケにするとはいい度胸だ。有権人どもも悪の鉄槌を下してやる。よっしゃ
どう？
I don't know if it's going to be a big year. Don't get your hopes up too much, but they're definitely going to announce something next year.
知らないうちに恨みでも買ったんじゃない。
Every year they have announced something. They have announced The Last Guardian, Gravity Rush, Gravity Rush 2, Everybody's Gold, Knack 2, and Knack 1 and Knack 2. So every year they announce at least something.
私に不可能はない。未来、カメラがこっちに来たぞ。
Yeah. Oh shit.
飛ばします。
至極当然の結果だ。
いかがですか？
Oh, holy shit, that is cool. Oh, I already got it. Oh, wait, of course, a black card is super ultra rare. These are just, I think, rare. Not ultra rare. Right, yeah, they're super rare. Then you got super rare, and you got ultra rare. You got, they're black. Okay. Super rare, ultra rare. So I played this morning. Whoop, holy shit. So this morning I woke up really early. And I started playing Xenoblade. I'll level up again. And I played about 3.5 hours of Xenoblade 2, and then the game crashed. And there's no autosave. I was kind of pissed. I just lost 3.5 hours of work. Oh, these are so fucking stupid. Fires, really?
炎上商法をやる前にこんなことになるなんて。みんな気合を入れろ。ウォーターガンで消火するんだ。私の大事なもやしが炎に飲まれていきますわ。今はもやしにかまってる場合じゃないわ。でもあれはただのもやしじゃありませんの。オーガニックの超高級もやしで。つべこべ言わずに消火だ。死にたくないだろ。出番よ。
We'll say 5 more? Yes, it has 5 more.
もっとカメラ意識して。
お友達は大丈夫かい
Yeah, that is pretty much what I thought too. Like, they announced so much, they just don't have anything else. So they were like, let's... I mean, it's not bad, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand that if you're someone who really likes this, it's pretty cool to see all the developing teams talk about their games and stuff, but... And there was one point though, there was one point in the conference I really liked. That is when Sony talked about single-player games are dead. You know, EA has been saying this, Microsoft has said this, and I love the comment of Herman Hulst, the guy behind, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn, that he says like, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn is our best-selling game to date, and it's single-player only. So yeah, single-player games are dead. You know, I loved it that Sony, all the Sony teams are just laughing about that whole subject where, you know, like single-player games are like the point of Sony. Like, you know, all their games are almost single-player. That was really cool. And man, Medieval. I'm so happy, like, that game is so fucking cool. And I guarantee you, Medieval is going to be a AA budget game. So it's gonna be $40. Sony is really, you can really see that Sony is trying to create a line for gamers to see between what are AAA Sony exclusives and what are AA exclusives. You know, where the whole Knack and Everybody's Golf and, you know, Shelter Classes, remakes and smaller games are going to be just AA games and are not really like the... It's like this, like the AAA games like God of War, Days Gone, Spider-Man, they are like the chocolate, you know, the chocolate on a chocolate bar. And Sony really understands that in the chocolate you also need the cookie with cream. And like, so all these smaller games from Sony, including like Ratchet and Clank, are like the cookie and the cream in the chocolate bar. And that is something that, for Microsoft lacks. They only have really bad tasting chocolate, but they don't have cookie. I'm dying. Yes, I'm going to die. Holy shit, only 4 points. So I'm really happy because back on PS3, you really saw that Sony was pushing towards AAA games and not really at the smaller games. And now you really see a difference between, the games they're making. If they're making a game with From Software, then it definitely will be AAA, just like Bloodborne. But I won't get my hopes up for that. I don't really know if Sony's really working with From Software. I don't know. It, by the way, seems that the beta for Monster Hunter is pretty good. All the friends that are playing the game seems to really like the game. What I also really like, what Sony is also doing, and hopefully will do in the future more, is giving an option between performance and graphics. So Shadow of the Colossus has a cinematic mode that's going to be at 30 frames, but also has a performance mode that is targeting 60. I understand that probably it won't be solid 60, but pretty good, right? Hopefully, and it's really cool to hear the development team say that frame rate is a really big issue for them. So they were really keen on making sure that the game runs at a solid frame rate. Like, goddamn, finally a studio who knows it, who understands it, how important frame rate could be. And holy shit, Shadow of the Colossus looks amazing.
PBS の裏とか言っていましたが、そのことを詳しく教えてもらえませんか？それはですね、キング。なぜならこれは私たちへの依頼だからな。
How the hell can they all die at the same fucking time? That is so weird. Really?
いい響きだね。私たちはお前たちよりも先に大人の忍びの階段を登っているのだ。
And also really weird that they have a sort of shield. And I don't have that. Like, now I have it a little bit, but they have like a shield. I'm not gonna take this. Oh yeah, God of War seems to be really big. They did mention that it's gonna have like open segments to the game, but it's not really going to be open world. So I think like it's a little bit, I think, like Uncharted, where there's small parts to explore, but nothing big or anything. I was pretty shocked that they don't have a release date though. I was pretty sure that they would have. Oh my god. Each time I see this, it makes me laugh like holy damn. You're so mean. Really? This is literally the first time that I got 0 health. But of course I am playing it on the highest difficulty. And I beat the game on normal. Here, again, it's a fucking stupid, annoying shield. Finally. Water guns win. We shall see. I don't even want to think about PlayStation 5, but it is obvious Naughty Dog and definitely Guerrilla Games are the first who are going to work on PlayStation 5. Like, I bet Guerrilla Games already kind of know the specs and are kind of already in the progress of making, you know, especially Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Graving victory. Yeah, it's in pre-production. I mean, I guess that Guerrilla Games sort of have what they want to make. But I clearly understand that, you know, with every generation, it's going to be harder and harder to make games look amazing. You know, when first you had only 10 blocks to make up a face, now you have millions of blocks to make up a face. So it's obvious that let's do new levels. So it's obvious that you know good games are going to take a long ass time, and I think that's why it's really important for a game system to be easy to develop for, not like PlayStation 3. What should we do? Oh wait, no products. It's so fucking stupid. Oh shit. don't have much luck today. Yesterday I got a lot of rare cards. That was it? Really? Ah, damn it. No rare cards, like nothing at all. They give you the more experience. Single splash. So I got the hero challenge. I got all the finals to the finals. Oh, you can actually level up more. Holy shit. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say Soul Calibur cannot run on the Switch, but I understand that they want to focus first on the consoles that are actually already, you know, in the 70 million. And that is something a lot of Nintendo fans, diehard Nintendo, because I'm a Nintendo fan now too, but diehard Nintendo fans don't really understand. They're like, oh, you know, the Switch is selling extremely well in Japan. It's going to take away games from PlayStation. No, it's not. And, you know, this week we got like an open world One Piece game. We got a couple of other announcements. It's not gonna take away games from PlayStation because worldwide it's more important for Japanese developers at the moment. You know, if you look at sales of a lot of games, stuff like Final Fantasy and Neo and Nier, they all sold more in the West than in Japan. So if you're a game developer who wants to make a Japanese game, do you want to make it for a 7 million user base or 70 million user base? And I think the decision is easily made. But I mean, it would be cool if Soul Calibur would be ported to the Switch eventually. That would be cool. And of course, when time passes and the Switch keeps selling like it's selling now, eventually a lot of games will be multi-platform and will also be announced for the Switch. But pretty much as we have been talking about, don't expect too many Switch exclusive third-party Japanese games. You know, don't expect that. Because the big money is not in Japan anymore, it's in the West. Shield is really annoying. So Calibur does look really cool though, but I want to see Ivy. Is she called Ivy? I think it is. The girl with the big boobs and that sort of chain sword. That was she's so cool. She's my favorite character in Soul Calibur. It's been a long time though since I played Soul Calibur for the last time. 5, 4, splash, 3, 2, 1. Because I did get a special edition of Soul Calibur 5 but I never really played it. Dude, Bandai Namco is pretty much the biggest game developer right now. I mean, didn't they announce like an anime game this week? From some sort of Shogun new anime that's really popular in Japan. It looks pretty cool. And then they have the One Piece game that seems to be open world. Like, how cool is that? Namco Bandai is pumping up these games. I have to say though, at the Game Awards, the best fighting game, Injustice 2, was fucking bullshit. That Zelda won Game of the Year, like, I'm fine with that. Also, best score for some sort of indie crap compared to the masterpiece of Horizon? What? And best action game is Wolfenstein? What? Since when is a first-person shooter an action game? Really? Neo beats Wolfenstein, like, easily. So that was kind of lame, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I mean, really, like, if you look at Xenoblade running on the Switch, you can clearly see how much effort they have with, you know, making a modern game run on the Switch. Like, maybe a lot of developers don't mind it, but I think a lot of developers will just choose to not make a game for the Switch because it's just really hard, and like, your game is going to be bad if it doesn't run well. You know, the biggest criticism for Xenoblade is that it runs like shit on the handheld mode. It looks like garbage on the handheld mode. I don't give a crap. Like, I don't give a shit. But even I am like, oh my god, this looks bad. But if you look at the specs of the Switch, you understand why. It only has 2 gigabytes of RAM. Only 2 gigabytes. That is nothing.
Good job!
Yep, Bandai Namco is pretty much, it is by fact the biggest game developer of Japan at the moment. I mean, so many games. Yeah, I mean, Sword Art games, you know, Sword Art, you know, all the smaller games, I mean, even the big games. If Doom can run on Switch, every game can run on Switch. It's just that I don't think anyone wants to put in all that effort into making a game run at least handheld mode. And as I mentioned, besides Xenoblade 2 and now Bayonetta, next year there's like almost nothing coming out for the Switch that I'm like, I want that, you know? Like, next year is pretty much going to be all PlayStation. There's just way too much coming out. Way too much. stand up. What's she doing? Yeah, well, maybe they're right. But again, compared to what's coming out on PlayStation, it's nothing. It is nothing. What's up, Yarnum City Hunter? This is waifu galore, definitely. All the girls are waifu material. But hey, that's Senran Kagura. If you never heard of the game or the franchise before, it's all about the girls and big boobs. If you think Xenoblade is bad, then you haven't played this. Yeah, PlayStation 4 is just... holy damn, it's... There are just too many games coming out for PlayStation. Like, it is by far just like the PlayStation 2 days. Oh, SL Versus is a cool game, but I have to admit, I'm liking this game a bit more. I don't know why, it's just really, I don't know, it's really weird. But the gameplay is pretty good. Yeah, it's the those are the 3DS games. I'm definitely looking forward to those too. My God. Come on. I still don't know how they can have all these shields, where my players and myself cannot. Like, we don't have a shield. Also, the other RPG came out this week. What's a game called? Tokyo Samida EX Plus. Well, they will probably go the Monster Hunter route and finally make a real current gen Toukiden. That's my guess, at least. I finally get money. Give me the money. Got the most chaos.
さあ始めようか。それじゃあ参りましょう。
5、4、3、2、1 Here we go!
視聴者も盛り上がってきたわ。
Oh,
Good job.
First kill.
he's my favorite character in playing the game in XL versions. I really like the fighting style and the app. Tales of Berseria is awesome. It's not better than the Tales of what was the other one? Holy shit! Berseria? No, not quite. The other two on PlayStation 4. Oh shit! I forgot the game. And I don't know. Oh yes, Hysteria. See, I was almost right. I like that game a bit more. But Berseria was really good. The storyline was great, and the characters were awesome. South Principal I never played.
味方がやられたみたいだな。
仲間がやられたようね。
残り時間半分。
Yes, I can find them. See, and Gadam, they have their fucking shields. It really keeps annoying me.
私にやるべきことだ。
仲間がやられたようだ。
I don't know. It could also be just a port. They never said a new Tales of, they just said a Tales of game for Switch. It could be a port, it could be old games, or it could be a totally new game. But I'm not seeing it for just exclusive. It's also something they said. They never said exclusive to the Switch. They just said a Switch Tales of game. It could easily be PlayStation 4 and Switch.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I barely won that. I don't like this level though. This level sucks too. But I still won. Queen Tiger.
Go! 4, 3, 2, 1. PBS now on stage.
Sexually repressed people. What does that mean? Repressed. What do you mean I play this game for the boobs? Yep. Definitely. Of course I do. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about sexually equal rights. And the game is pretty cool. Yeah, the DLC is way too much, and I advise you not to support it. Even though the game is really cool, and at some point I am like, it deserves all the sales it can get. Do not support the bullshit DLC that they create every game. There are outfits in the game that are DLC on SWL Versus. So I'm like, if there was DLC in the last game, why is it not put in this game? You know, so again, do not support DLC for this game. It's not worth it. At least it's not like $4 for an outfit, you know. I think outfits are like 99 cents, and that's alright, like if you really like an outfit, but I'm just not gonna do it. And I mean, there are enough outfits, there is enough content in the base game though. So there is a lot of different outfits and characters, but yeah, it's bullshit that some of the outfits are DLC for the other game and they haven't put it in the main game now. That kind of sucks. Also really simple outfits like the maiden outfit that every Japanese game with girls should have is not in the game. It's like really weird. Yeah, I mean everybody plays this game for boobs, and hopefully they figure out like if you can look past that, the game is actually a lot of fun. I mean, if you only play for the boobs, then there's nothing to play for. There's nothing you can do. You know, but yeah. But the game is a lot of fun. It's a really cool game. I like it. And I'm having a lot more fun than I was expecting it. It's also pretty well made. I mean, this is I beat the entire game without the patch. It's fully playable, but I can clearly see that it plays. The frame rate is a little bit better with the patch, and there are a couple of features put in the game. You know, for example, in the base game, if you buy a card at a shop, you have to buy it each. So one card, one pack of cards, you open the pack, and you buy another one, etc., etc. Now you can buy like 5 packs of cards in one go. Those are the things they really changed. From what I've seen of the updates, there's no like game-breaking bugs. It's not like the game is broken. The frame rate is pretty solid. You know, they really only, add in all the DLC features and etc. and all the new characters that you can buy, new card packs, even though there are like 1,000 cards already. Yeah, I mean, if you really want to see boobs in action, you watch porn or something. But sure, I mean, you do play the game for the boobs. I mean, that's one of the joys of the game. But eventually, you will find out that the game is actually really, really cool. I also need to beat all the episodes. Yeah, the art on the characters is pretty cool. Like, so in the base game, you have to buy the pack, open the pack, and buy it again. Now, as you can see in the left corner, you can buy like as many as you want. Why does it says only 5? Because oh, you can only buy at 5. That's really weird. Because I got 10,000, but okay. Pretty ears. Yay! Cards Professor. Is that a golden trophy? Oh no, it's bronze. Oh yeah, and the cool thing about the game is, so how rare the card is that you can see at the 4 stars. So that's a super rare card. And how rarer the card is, how more naked the girls will be, as you can clearly see in this card. It's so weird, but I like it. It's really cool. Like, the whole Western world has this really big discussion about sexualization of women and this and that, and Japan is like, fuck that shit. We don't give a shit. That is so cool. They don't really give a shit about anything. And I mean, it's obvious. It's like, I don't really understand the whole discussion about the sexualization. If you look in the summer what girls wear, and then like they don't expect us to look. I mean, I'm only saying looking. Of course, it's never right to, touch a girl in any way that she doesn't want to, especially girls you don't even know. But if I'm in the summer and I walk in the city and I look a sexy ass bitch or sexy ass girl, with the big boobs and big butt, I'm gonna look at her. I don't give a shit. You know, but now all of a sudden it's like, you don't need to look at it. Why? What? It's really weird. I don't really understand the whole discussion, but whatever. I just love that Japan just doesn't give a flying shit. No, you can keep it the entire game. I will show you after this. So the cards are like power-ups. They grant you certain power. So again, you know, how rare the card is, how stronger the power is going to be. Ryoki, who's that? I think she's not in the SL versus game. And yes, I was checking out the boobs. I definitely was. I really hate these. They're all like weapon cards, but they're useless. Okay, so I think I got, what did I get? Like 2 or 3 rare cards? That's about it. Okay, so let me explain to you how the card system works. Okay, so Miyabi. So this is the character I'm playing. So you got your weapon card. See, you can upgrade your weapons. But this is the card, this is the weapon I use. Then you have the character. So all the duplicate cards you already have, every card is experience. So a normal card is 1 experience. Rare card, 5 experience. You get the point. So the ultra rare cards are a lot of experience. This is the way how you upgrade everything. So even if you get a card you already have, that's like super rare, you're gonna be happy because you get 50 experience points instead of 1. Okay? So let me upgrade Miyabi. Now, you also have puppets, pets, and they're like sidekicks. You know, they will attack the enemy with different variety of attacks, and they're extremely rare to get. There are 16 in total, and I've never gotten anyone besides these 3. Now here's how the card system works. So as you can see, you see the card, how much it costs, the duration, the target, and it says reduces the opposing team's shot damage, also affects against certain grunt attacks. Now I'll be totally honest, I just picked a couple of cards. I haven't even read what it does. I don't really give a shit. But if you want to build a card deck to your liking, you know, you can have some pretty cool. I just pick a card. I'm like, okay, this is the strongest. You know. So you have. This is all the cards I have obtained. It's quite a lot, and every card does something. You know, every card has its own weakness, has its own use, and this is pretty much the way how you customize your game. I just look at a card and think, hey, this card looks cool, and we're gonna put it in my card deck. That's how I do it. You can also define it by where is it? There. By rarity and stuff, but it seems oh here, rarity, ultra rare. So these are all the ultra rare cards, all the 5+ star cards. And you can also upgrade the cards. So as you can see, I don't have extra cards to spend, but that is how you upgrade the card. So this card needs 9 experience to upgrade, 9 experience to upgrade. So all in all, the game is sort of like a RPG where you have to grind a lot. A lot. To get everything at max and to get the platinum trophy. Not that I give a shit about the platinum trophy, but you know what I mean.
Let's crash!
Okay, she have the same outfit.
2、1、レッツスプラッシュ
Look at the butt. Yeah, at first I was really overwhelmed by like, holy shit, what is all of this? But it's a pretty simple system. But because there are about 800 cards, you know, if you really want to build a deck, and I think it's more important online than offline. As you can see, I can easily play all the offline modes. It's more about a lot of, you know, understanding what a card does and what it is, and instead of just, you know, but it's cool to collect, like, and there are also card packs you can buy, and sadly you can buy the entire card pack online. They're like three euros for each card pack. That kind of sucks, but luckily you don't have to do it. You know, it's an option. You don't have to. It's not like a certain game where you have to spend $2,000 to get all the content. Oh, they're actually in there. I don't understand how they do that. See, every time they die, or almost going to die, they're going to put up that shield. And you can never do the shield yourself. They're the only ones who can do it. Maybe it's like cars, but it's really weird why they're the only ones who can put up that shield. Like all my allies, they don't have shields. Time to almost die, bomb, shield.
Oh shit!
And only because of these shields that they're winning. But I'm not seeing myself in shield. That's definitely something they haven't really talked about, like, what the fuck is that? Okay, we lost. Like, I really don't understand how they can put up that shield every freaking time. Why can't I just replay instead of... Dun, 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 dun.
Let's crash! Miyabi, smile! Go! 4, 3, 2, 1. BBS now on stage!
They have a so annoying. That's like the only annoying part of the entire game. How the enemy can have all these fucking shields every freaking time. They're almost dead. Bomb, shield. Ew. That's a disgusting M&M.
よく来たな。それを買うのか。代金が足らないさ。
I kind of just picked two.
使いなさい。
Oh, Yumi, vacation, really?
少しは強くそれを買うのか。
Ah, super rare or ultra rare card. Look of a girl. Good old fun.
少しは強くなったようだな。戦いの場で待っているぞ。
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video or the stream. Holy shit, an hour and a half. I think it's time to take a shower, make some hot cocoa, and I think I'm gonna start or Agent of Mayhem or Shadow War. One of these games. So maybe you will see me after that. But hope you enjoyed it. And like always, you're gonna see me next time. How do I put it off? Oh, here.